The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Good afternoon, Carlos.
Good afternoon.
Another edition of Table Topics?
Another Table Topics, and we are back here at the studio at the BCC. And remember, it's Wednesday night, so you will be watching this show on Channel 95 or on your computers. And if you're watching this show and it's not a Wednesday night, it's because you're watching a repeat show. Which you can come back Wednesday for a new show. So,
if you want, we could talk about some local things to start, because
yes.
I have some stuff that's kind of like a global kind of thing. So, we have some interesting things that have gone on in the last
24 hours.
24 hours, yeah, 24. It could be the last week. There was, I'll probably start and you can kind of jump on. I had seen where the whole Jazel Correa saga came to head again, and it looked like Gen Andrade went to court again. And to be perfectly honest, Carlos, I don't know if this is just me, but I don't even know what is going on. I heard that she was going on with another plea, and I'm like, well, they rejected it, and the judge says he rejects it, and then they're like, no, this is happening. So I guess in the end, the judge, because I didn't get to see it, but somebody had it on Twitter, and I was reading what the judge said, what she said. And in the end, it appears she's not going to go to jail, but she has a $50,000 fine, which I'm sure she's probably happier to pay that than to go to jail. But what I found interesting in this, when I was reading this, is that the prosecution, the U.S. Attorney's Office, they were actually pretty much acting like the defense. Saying that she's, a strong member of the community, she always helps people, blah, 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 blah. So it was just kind of weird. I watch court shows, so I'm not saying I know much about it, but it was kind of weird for the prosecution to be defending her, but that was my take about reading it.
Well, let's put it this way. How they came up with the $50,000, probably they add the half a checks that she made at the 6th floor. She probably made about $50,000
over the 2 years.
Her paychecks. Because it's supposed to be 100, but Jazel got half of it. So here goes, the money goes all back again. The second thing is definitely the judge don't know and never saw Gen Andrade in Fall River. He doesn't know her around Fall River, because if he knew, he probably wouldn't have that opinion. I had a couple encounters with Gen Andrade when she was chief of staff, and they were not pleasant. For people from Fall River knows that she's the one that got him elected. The only reason he got elected was because she was a good campaign manager. She was a good campaign manager.
I didn't know her that. I didn't really. I think I met her once or twice.
And with all that thing that I love him like a son, he's like a son to me, actually sold the seat, especially, and I talk for my community, because she's Portuguese too. For the Portuguese community is, bought the ticket, okay? So the 2 encounters that I had with her, she was in command. She wanted to make sure that we knew that she was in command. So when she was chief of staff, everybody knew that called the 6th floor that she was in command. You will not talk to the mayor without first talking to me, okay? So I guess judge didn't know about this. You don't live in Fall River. You don't know her from Fall River. You just believe the tears.
Yeah.
Okay? You believe the tears and the people that saying that she's a good person. And I'm not saying that she's not a good person, especially for the family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know the brothers. You know, they're a big family.
Yeah.
They were like, I believe, 9 brothers and sisters. So, yes, her being the oldest one, you know, when you have a big family, the first ones, you get 15, 16 years old, you need to work.
Yeah, yeah.
To help the others, okay? So I'm not saying that. So on her personal life, I have nothing to say. I believe everything that she said, that she was a good person, that she helped the family. 100%, okay? Being a Portuguese, knowing how Portuguese likes to go to work, give up school, go to work to help the mom and dad, and you know. What bothers me is, as campaign manager and as chief of staff, she was bad. She was bad. She did all the connection. She had all the connections for Jazel, okay? Because, and I'm not trying to defend Jazel in here now, but Jazel got elected at 23. Jazel knew. They didn't know the people that she knew. She knew everything from the state level people on government all the way down. I mean, he had on this campaign fundraisers, he had people from the State House attending. You think, you want me to believe that they came because of Jazel? No, they came because of her.
And you know, this has nothing to do with Gen Andrade, but I always, and maybe this is me, and I'm from here, you know what I mean? I wasn't born here, but I moved here when I was like in 8th grade, so I consider pretty much living here most of my life. I always just find this amazing that people think the power, you know what I mean? I'm the mayor, I'm this, power. It is a city with a 19% poverty rate. You know what I mean? It's as if people think they're in Beverly Hills or, you know what I mean? Like, it goes to their head, and I don't get how we can get that out of people's heads. I mean, there's so many people you and I know that have gone from regular people like you and I, they run for office and they change. Just at the city council level, they totally change. And it's amazing to me. It just kind of goes, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if you have to step through this magical door. You know what I mean? It happens.
And that's what I say. We elected them, and they get there, they forget. With all the conversations we had and all the promises that they gave, they're sitting there, they totally change. Same thing as mayor. The mayor is the same thing. So, but coming back to Gen Andrade, the first, the couple encounters I had with her and Jazel, one of them was just walking into my office, you know, not being invited. I had a meeting with her staff. But they came and everything. So Jazel was there just saying yes what they had, but she was in control. She was the one that was yelling at me. She was the one yelling at me. She was the one talking to me, okay? So...
what's the yelling about? What was the yelling for?
I don't want to open a new investigation. Let's put it this way, okay? So let's leave it this way. But here's the thing. So that's why I'm saying she got away with murder. Well, she got away with murder.
I mean, one of the things that kind of disturbed me with this is, I mean, they dropped the charges, whatever. And I don't wish anything bad on anybody, but it's like, you know, we're hearing in this country now there's a 2-tiered justice system. So we have somebody, she was charged with lying to the FBI. Now, to me, as someone that's, you know, grown up, you've been here, when someone lies to a government official like the FBI, that's bad. You know what I mean? They can put you away for a while. So we see someone that, you know, she didn't have that happen to her, but then we have other people that lied to the FBI and they're trying to put them in jail and they don't get bail. It's just, this is what I don't understand. You know what I mean? And it's, to lead into that is something, I think SAR, one of these places, had a poll, and I've said the same thing. The poll said, do you think Cesar Correa is ever going to go to jail? And the majority of people said no. And at this point, I really don't think it's going to happen as well. Because it's like the judge has kind of said this, that, and the other thing, but he keeps on giving these continuances to go. I mean, somebody was asking me about it that doesn't live here. And they said, is he in jail now? And I'm like, no. They're like,
everybody's amazing that he's not in jail.
Why does this keep happening? Did the jury come back? I said, the jury came back. He was found guilty. He was sentenced to 7 years or 6 years or whatever it is, and they keep on giving continuation. So I don't understand why.
And two of those appeals that he did and got granted was because of COVID.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, this guy's going to go there for 6 years.
Yeah.
What's the difference if he gets COVID there? Yeah. It's like he's going to come out and give COVID to other people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're there. Yeah. You're gonna have a headache one day, like everybody else, and the next day you're good. You're a young, healthy person.
I would think because that town, Berlin, I think has 10,000 people, and there's really nothing around there. You're in the mountains, so I would think that you'd have a higher probability of getting COVID here with all the people we have, as opposed to 5,000 people that are 10,000 people.
Well, he's supposedly helping the family at the restaurant, working on the family. Yeah. Where can he get? Better place to get a COVID.
You're right. Yeah, it's not as if he's working from home or
exactly.
You're working in a restaurant that people. I don't get it, Carlos. That's way above my pay grade with this. I just don't understand. You know what I mean? There are certain cases that you see. You know what I mean? And it kind of. I was listening to Will Flanagan a couple nights ago, and he kind of brought it to play in this country, which we're well aware of. If you have the money, you can get away with anything to a point. If you are able to get those resources, because I don't think I could afford that, to have these attorneys keep on going back and in. I don't know where that money comes from, you know, and there's only so much you can mortgage a house. You know what I mean? So where does that money come from to keep on hiring these attorneys?
After O.J. Simpson trial, you had the perfect example.
Yeah, exactly.
He got away with murder.
Exactly.
He got out of jail, and then he got more years because he stole something. He got more years of jail because he stole something than actually for murder. You know, so he has money.
And it depends. There was something I read the other day. It was a politician that's running for mayor, I think in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was a Jewish guy. And apparently somebody went into his office, bang, bang, shot at him, but didn't get him, but shot at him. And that guy was bailed out by all these different groups, bailed him out of jail. And I'm like, how does this dude get bailed out when he like almost shot somebody? I don't get it. So that's what I mean about this whole different system. There were people there to give that money to bail him out, and that's what happens where you have other people that just don't have the resources, and they may sit in jail because they don't have the bail money.
Well, at this point, if Cesar don't get jail, which I could believe it, at least would be nice if he pays back the money that he took from the investors.
From the people, yeah.
Okay. No. I mean, the worst of the best scenarios is him getting away from jail, but giving back the money that was not his to spend. You know.
Exactly. I give them credit. I'm not that trusting of a person. You know what I mean? I would really have to know you, but you know, if I was able to give $50,000 to someone, that would only be a family member. And even then, I'd be telling them, you need to give me this money. I'm not that trusting with money like that. So anybody else, hey, you know what I mean?
But, you know, I mean, we're not going to keep rolling the same thing. But we had a show, and before that we had this conversation. One of the people, why he got money? Because the son needed company. The son needs to go out and party.
I don't want it.
You know, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So, but one of the investors, it's right there. The reason that he was investing money on him. You know.
I hear you. It's still.
So, and we're done with Gen Andrade. I hope that she learned. I hope that she move on with her life. I hope that she be nice to people now. That she don't yell to people. just to make her think that she in charge. You know,
things do make people humble, and it's. I'll just give you this last kind of thing. It's kind of related to that. Years ago, you would go to New York before 9/11, and people in New York just it's like Boston. It's a city that it's like dog eat dog. And personally, I would go for work to New York after 9/11 hit, and everybody was so much nicer. They even said it. New Yorkers are like not New Yorkers anymore. They're so much nicer. So so maybe things like that happen. And you turn a leaf, and you move on.
Yeah, because the bad of the other is not going to make us any better too.
Yeah.
So, but if you commit a crime, you have to admit that you commit a crime, and this is already a beginning of a hill.
Yeah.
You will heal if you admit it. It's just like any other addiction that you have. You're never gonna start walking and get the first step to getting better without you admitting that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. That's the first step.
That's the first step.
Absolutely.
It's a long way up after that, but making that decision, that first step decision, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
So
just another real quick thing. You were probably at the last council meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of fiery, wasn't it? I was watching that.
Yes.
So
yes.
I just want to bring up one thing that I really noticed, and
And that's the meeting with the Diman.
Yeah, with Diman. Yeah. So
our lawyers and their lawyers.
Yeah.
How it's two lawyers and have two different ideas on the same issue.
And what drove me crazy is that they would explain it and you'd understand. And then you get a new counsel talking and they bring it up like they didn't hear it. Like they weren't just sitting in there for the past 25 minutes. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But
and you think that after three and a half hours talking about the same thing, how are we going to vote?
Yeah.
And how should we vote? You think the vote was right? I don't think so. I think they screw up the vote again.
I don't know. Because the way it was in the paper, it made it seem like the council doesn't want to go to the taxpayers to vote on it. You know what I mean? That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
And the mayor was saying that. That's what the council. I heard him on the radio one day saying that's what the council wanted.
I heard the same councilor asking 3 different times to the same question to the. If I vote yes, it means that I want or that I don't want it.
Yeah. There was,
well, I'm in support, but do I want it or do I don't want it?
Well, there was one thing that was kind of like a drama-packed section of it. You may remember this, but the last council meeting before this, I guess somebody had sent in to citizens input that one of the councilors had texted another councilor, and it was about Leo Pelletier.
Yes.
And so that's done and that was over with. And he said, "I'm sorry." He didn't even say, "I'm sorry." I thought it was actually, Trotley, it was a poor excuse for, "I'm sorry." There was really not an apology there, but that's over and done with. But what I found interesting was that Trotley was talking during the council meeting, and he said something about Sean Cadine to the effect that the voters are ignorant or something.
Yes,
Sean's like, "I didn't say that." And you can get on there and tweet everybody you want. And I'm like, text everybody you want. And I'm like, oh, here it comes again. It's back again, like a bad dream. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a soap opera. You got to kind of make sure that you're watching it because other people wouldn't have known that was. But I picked up right away because it was the last meeting.
Well, it's interesting to watch the meeting there because you have counselors picking up the key to go to the bathroom. You have counselors that asking the other ones, "You want water? You want water?" Showing the empty cup. You want water. So you know what I'm saying? It's like it's nice to actually be there in the chamber and watch this what's going on there. So
so that, I wanted to bring that up.
So tonight's in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think at 5.
The mayor's going to be giving his
state of
city. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be home by then, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I'll try to check it out. I mean, we already kind of know the state of the city.
I don't think I'm ever going to attempt because I already know what he's going to say. So they never go there and say that we're in trouble. They always say, "We good. Our financials team I have the best financial team until they come in front of the city council and they don't have the answers for the questions.
Yeah. Like we haven't had that in the past. We're in the best financial shape we've ever been in, and 3 months later, we're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, if you did that with your wife and, you know what I mean, you're like, don't worry about a thing, honey. Don't worry about a thing, we're good. And then 3 months later you say, we're in trouble. What do you think would happen? What would happen?
John, I will never forget this doing, what's his name? Will Flanagan.
Yeah.
Everybody, and that was a big thing on the Herald News, on the Friday, the employees went home with the pink slip.
Yeah.
With a pink slip.
Yeah.
I don't know where the mayor went, if he went to Foxwoods and gambled, and win $5 million or $6 million. But the truth is, Monday morning, here we goes a press conference that we fund an account with money.
Yeah.
So guess what? Nobody's going to get fired. We fund the money.
I wish I had that in my house. Like, you know what I mean? You dig up and you find like $1,000 or $2,000.
I mean, that was like over the week.
Yeah.
You put this. I mean, how many hours you work overtime or during the weekend to fund $6 million? It's like
that would be nice. Like, imagine if you could do that in your house. Go in the backyard and find $6,000.
I have no idea. I mean, at this point that's why I'm one of the believers that we need a forensic audit.
Yeah, we probably do.
Because at this point things are out of hand. Yeah. This point is they don't know, they don't know how many accounts we have. We have accounts open. They transfer money from this account to that account, and then they found out the accounts are not current. Yeah. So at this point is, even a big store and a bank does that. Inventory.
Yeah.
Let's put close for a week for inventory.
Yeah.
City of Fall River needs to close for a week for inventory.
No, you're right.
And bring me all those books with that money, and the bank statements too, because we want to verify by the last day of the month how much we had on that account.
Yeah. No, I agree, because I'm sure it's easy to have that happen, but that should be done once a year or every 6 months to say, do we have a million here that we don't remember? So it does make sense.
And it's something that we never hear about is the grants that we get to pay for stuff. Yeah. So at this point, and I heard Linda on the Herald, on the SAR talking this morning about the school should be going off. Yeah. It was a 20-year loan that should be going off. Why nobody's saying that? So we want to go into the citizens' pockets again for another school when we have money that we could overlap, use it. Since it's like me having a car payment and I want a new car, I'm used to have that payment anyway.
Yeah,
so we change.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you just change it to the new school.
So that's why I say and that I agree with John Cadane. We don't have to go and ask for more money until we know how much money we have. And that's what we need to know. Where the money's coming from, can we raise more money? Can we do something to raise more money? And what bills are getting paid this year that we could use that money for something else?
Exactly.
And we have 5 minutes left for your...
So I have a thing that it's kind of a comic relief. You know how we kept on hearing?
Yes.
This is the disease of the pandemic of the unvaccinated, right?
Yes.
So what do we hear now?
Like you go for exercise classes, you have to relax.
You gotta crack up every once in a while.
That's.
So I have a meme, I guess is what they call it, that I wanted to just post on here. I hate anti-vaxxers, says Robin, and Batman smacks him and says Russians. And I can't read from here. I'm sorry. Russians.
You hate Russians now.
Yeah, no, you hate Russians. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole thing on the meeting. We hate Russians. So and to turn to a global kind of view, I listen to a lot of different people. Joe Rogan is one of them. And I have a clip that I just wanted to share with the convoy in Canada. It was funny because I was watching a lot of their news, and in Canada there was a parliament member that came on, and he basically said, to whoever the head of parliament is there, there's supposedly a Charles Schwab, part of the World Economic Forum, that says he's infiltrated a lot of this parliament. Can you name me the names? And suddenly, all the sound starts going off in parliament. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. So this next clip is kind of related to that. It's a short 2-minute clip, and it will bring us probably to the end of the show.
You'll see it. Our teams are now embedded in governments around the world. That's actually what they wrote.
Yes.
And the video is 2 minutes. I didn't play all of it. It's what he says.
But what he's saying there sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Figuring out on strategic ways to end the lockdown easily.
No,
that makes sense?
Not the end of the lockdown. No.
Well, didn't he say that?
Yeah. Keep in mind, Tony Blair is the one who's been advocating for vaccine passports, digital identification through COVID, and all of these measures.
But didn't they say that about ending the lockdowns and keeping businesses?
Once those measures are in place. Right, so he's, even in the UK, his stance has been, yeah, we're going to get out of all it, but you have to have digital ID, and you have to have...
So
during
and
the
then
war,
this is going to introduce the social credit score system.
Right, so all of that came from your question, which is, regardless of intention, how do people do that infiltration from within? It's not just Twitter. So back to the psychological operations. It's also embedding people in government who are subscribed to this agenda. Yeah? And the agenda of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum is the same as the agenda of Tony Blair in this regard. They call it, on their own website, they call it the Great Reset. That's what they say themselves.
Yeah, that's a bizarre thing to do, openly. Why do you think they openly discuss it that way? And openly, because the Great Reset has always been this gigantic conspiracy theory among the online folks. Like, this is all part of the Great Reset. Well, when he wrote a fucking book called The Great Reset, you're like, hey man, shouldn't you be hiding this?
And in 2017 at Harvard, he's saying, we're going to basically, all of these world leaders will penetrate their cabinets with our young global leaders. He's open about this. He's open. Blair's open. During the Iraq War, Blair tried to bring in ID cards in Britain. He failed. Now he's back, and he's trying to bring in digital ID during COVID. Right? So they're open about it.
So this is going to be this never-ending process to slowly move the goalposts
towards more and more authoritarianism. Checkpoint society.
So that's what's... So yeah, I listen to a lot of different things. So as we see what's going on in the world right now, in China they have a social credit score. So something like a show like this, if I would have just played this in China, they would have went one way from me, so I might not be able to get on a plane. That's what's happened in China, and a lot of folks believe that's what could be coming down the pike for us. And we see Russia and China, we have a short period of time, I'm just going to say, Russia and China right now are kind of ganging up together against us, right? They have one of the biggest gold reserves in the world, so you have two superpowers that have that. What if those two superpowers say, we're not going to trade in the world reserve currency, the US dollar. We're using this currency right now, and here's all our gold. What do you guys have? Then what happens? We become Zimbabwe, our currency. So it's kind of stuff like that I kind of look at. You can watch the mainstream media. I watch CNN, I watch Fox. To me, they're all terrible. But it's like I want to see which side has which and which side plays this up and that up. So
no,
it's just
I mean it's
interesting.
good to have different options and you hear different options and then you believe what you believe and you pick what you believe on. You know, so. And with that, we're done for another show. Thank you, John, for another week.
Thanks.
And this one was a fun show.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.